Good morning out there in YouTube land. What we have here is a restored, well, about 95 to 96% restored 1916 model Columbia Grafonola. I found this unit out in the trash. Somebody had put it out in the trash, and it was pretty much a mess when I got it. It was painted like a medium brown color, and there was pink all underneath of that. And then when I got down to it, it had a real dark finish on it. So what I did was I completely stripped the entire cabinet and refinished it to its natural wood. Now this machine I put it all back together, and then the main spring decided to jump loose. So what I did was I had bought a reproducer and tone arm because that was missing off of the machine when I got it. I mean, it even has a record storage area, and you push these little buttons and it pushes the record out. A lot of finds on eBay for parts and this and that and the other. As I think it turned out pretty good, for what could have happened to it had I not gotten it. This would have ended up in a landfill somewhere, or probably shredded. And this is a piece of music history that I took the time to restore, being retired and not having a whole lot to do. This machine took me about 2.5 months to do. I've spent many hours stripping it and sanding it, and there was not a power tool taken to this machine whatsoever. I totally sanded it all by hand, and unfortunately the veneer on the top of the lid came loose, so I had to take the veneer off. So this is what the top of the lid looks like, and there again I opted to refinish it in its natural wood tone. Various different colorations and things like that kind of occurred once I got it stripped down. And the platter area here had some veneer on it, and it came off as well. So I just opted for this natural wood tone here, and you can see there's a knot there in it. And for the reproducer, this I got off of eBay here about a week or so ago. It came, and this is an original Columbia, one of the designs that Columbia used for these reproducers. And I had found another one. It's not marked what it really and truly is. I bought this off of Etsy. This is another reproducer, and this one takes the bamboo type needles, and I haven't tested this reproducer out yet to see if it works or not. Not in too bad a shape, a little marked up there, but eventually that'll get cleaned up and everything, and I'm going to try this one of these days to see if it works. So what I did was, to test out the reproducer, I was able to do it where I could manually move it to get sound quality, to see what the sound quality was like out of this old machine. Not knowing a whole lot about these, it was kind of a learning curve of how the mechanism works and this and that and the other. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to give everyone out there in YouTube land a little sound of this, just to see what kind of feedback I get on it, and and hopefully some people like this restoration on this piece of music history. So I'm going to be quiet for just a little bit, and I'm just going to spin this record manually. And for my selection, I chose the 3 o'clock in the Morning Waltz by Paul Whiteman and his orchestra. I think this is around 1923, maybe 1924, and I'll make an update once I do the research on this and find out just what time frame this came into. I started collecting records, and then when I got this Grafonola, then I started collecting things that said Victor Talking Machine, and started collecting ones that said Columbia Grafonola records to be able to play on this machine once I get the main spring back going right again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spin this, and hopefully everybody gets a good listening thing. It actually sounds pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spin this to about 78, what I believe to be about 78 to 80 RPMs. And I hope everybody enjoys it. Little slip there on the needle. We'll get it going again. Kind of still a little bit of adjustment and work in progress on this machine. Like I said, dealing with something that's 103 years old. Now, there you have it. Hopefully all of you that tune into this, I hope you enjoy this as much as I did. This was a very fun and exciting learning process about a piece of music that was made during my great-grandmother's time, And like I said, this machine would have been ended up in a landfill or shredded. And like I said, I was very surprised to see that this machine was thrown out in the trash. But like I said, when I got it, it was a mess. And this is where I've gotten with it so far. More parts that I've got coming in for it to complete the restoration. Like fixing the mainspring and this and that and the other. But it really is, I think it turned out very, very well. I mean, considering what could have happened to it. So, there again, I hope you enjoy. And, of course, always, feedback is always appreciated, because there again, this was a big learning curve. Okay, I hope you have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the test run of this wonderful piece of music history, 1916 Columbia talking machine Grafonola. Thank you. Have a good day.